yet another day of Civilization 5 Gods and Kings with the Byzantine Empire. I am your host, Anubis, and obviously, as you can see, I've finally given in to buying up this tile of iron. You know, I want to get that iron knocked out. I want to get this mine built. I want to have that safety of knowing that I have some iron so that I can just build some, you know, whatever units I need to build, whenever I need to build them. I don't have to say, oh, I was waiting for this to expand, now my workers are all the way over here, it's going to take me X amount of turns to get this, and I kind of need it now. So, safety first, get that knocked out. I would like to just have that out of the way so I no longer have to worry about it. And let's go ahead and just knock out steel. Let's knock out steel. Why not? I mean, we just got iron, and we're finally picking it up, and we're already getting steel, so what do you know? So anyways, here we are, a couple turns after yesterday's, or I guess, I don't know when I put this video up, yesterday, day before, the previous day of playing this game. And we're a couple turns after that, and finished the university up here in Nicaea, getting a caravel built, because that would be a dandy. I really want to get that first caravel built so that I can truly explore these ocean tiles, truly explore the world, and just get a full grasp on everything that is. Because even though my drone is doing some really good stuff up there for me, and you know they've discovered Sweden, they've discovered Monaco, and one of those other city-states, so they're doing quite a bit for me, but they're not doing as much as I would prefer. So I'm going to go ahead and just knock out that guy and get it going. Steel. How nice. We have steel knocked out. Natural wonder found. The barrier crater. So that is good. My happiness is doing quite well. Plus 10 happiness is not bad at all. And where's that crater found? I think it was found up here. So there it is. There it is. So anyways, we got steel knocked out, and unfortunately, at this point in the game, all of my unique units are obsolete. I mean, obviously, with the caravel, the drone is farly outmatched, and then the cavalry that I have, my cataphracts, are also obsolete as well. So, I mean, well, I guess I should take that back. The cataphracts can still do some damage during this age, but very soon they will also be obsolete, because better units can be trained by them, and even though they can still compete, and they can still do quite a bit of damage, with the added effect that my nation is a bit more advanced than other nations, I also have to pretty much expect that these other nations are focusing mostly on military, because that tends to be the computer's focus. They tend to really focus on military, they tend to be really advanced militarily, and have all that going for them. So I kind of have to assume that they're going to have some pretty decent units. Once you start getting to the gunpowder research and getting musketmen, which I'm doing right now, then you start seeing a little bit of a change. You start seeing some people having musketmen and higher, and some people still having, you know, simple swordsmen and long swordsmen and stuff like that. So this is about the point in the game where things are going to just start to get a little, you know, you're really going to start to see the difference between an advanced nation and a less advanced nation. And I want to make sure I'm one of the advanced nations. I don't want to fall behind and become one of the less advanced nations and then in turn be in a weaker standpoint. I want to really be strong on all fronts. You know, even though I am going for a scientific victory, I'm going to get, you know, the space program and all of that built. Ooh, another city-state. And they're a mercantile state. Oh, that is great. I love mercantile city-states. Very good. They also have iron. I don't believe I have any jewelry yet. I know I have gold. I don't believe I have jewelry, so that will also help my happiness. Mercantile city-states are just great. They are perfect. They are really good if you're going for a military victory. I mean, they're good for any victory, but they're extremely good for a military victory. And I finally have iron. Wondrous. But they're good for a military victory because, obviously, if you're taking lots of different places, your happiness is just going to keep going down, because every time you take a place, your just happiness plummets by, you know, 6, 7, 8 points. And unless you have some nice wonders like the Notre Dame, or I forget some of the other names, but unless you have some of those natural wonders that are going to help you with happiness, or some of those wonders that you build, you really want to ally with mercantile city-states, because those guys, especially when they're your allies, they give you such a nice bonus to help keep everything golden and get you those golden ages. Now, as you can see, I've built a barracks here, and the reason for that is, even though I'm not really going very militaristically, I would like to have, you know, this that safety wall I was talking about a moment ago, where I'm strong on all fronts, because, you know, just because you're going for one type of victory doesn't mean the other things aren't important. If you don't have a strong military, you can get invaded, and then I will automatically damper everything you're going for, no matter what you're working for. And should you try an attack, let's say you want to go on the offensive, because I do intend to take over a couple more cities as I play through this game. I want to continue to play an aggressive game. I want to continue to expand and kind of strike fear into the hearts of my enemies. I want people to fear me. I don't want them to think, oh, well, this guy, you know, he's just being a nerd. He wants to go for science, so he's probably weak military. I want them to know I'm a force to be reckoned with, not to mess with me. So I want to continue my expansion, just like I want to continue with my culture. I want to keep my policies up to date because I want to get as many benefits from social policies as possible, because benefits from these cultural policies help you no matter what victory you're going for. If you're going for military, you're trying to get all those honor things. If you're going for scientific, hello, England. Nice to meet you. Where are you guys at? You guys are up here. So you guys are going to get that wonder that we recently discovered. And you got some barbarians coming in. You got a pretty big barbarian force. Where are your soldiers, dude? I mean, those guys are weak, so you must have somebody probably right there on that iron attacking them, or have attacked. There we go. There we go. There's some damage they just took. So, yeah, obviously that city's within range. And did my ship just get... No. It moved. Alright. That makes sense. I was like wondering, what happened to my ship? I know they didn't just destroy it. They might have, but that would have been a little bit surprising for me for them to focus on my ship, which is doing nothing to them, rather than on the English, who are obviously fighting them and, you know, right there next to their barbarian encampment, and I'm sure want them dead. So yeah, it was during a turn phase, so that's why they moved. All right, that was avoid. You guys are gonna go ahead and build me a trading post once that's done. Obviously, I built my market here. I've got a mint as well, so that helps out with my money. My money has jumped up quite a bit. Plus 33 is rather good. I want that to continue to grow, so we're gonna go ahead and build a bank. Yeah, we're gonna build a bank. I want to build a constabulary pretty soon, because I just don't like people spying on me. It really gets on my nerves. I don't like people spying on me, because when you play the computer, they tend to not really care what you say to them. You can just be like, oh, you just spied on me. We killed your spy. Now we don't like you. And then they'll just keep spying on you, and they'll keep spying on you. And it doesn't matter how much they fail or how much you tell them you don't like it. They will continue doing it without any care in the world. And it's different when you play against human players, because when you play against human players, you can really take advantage of the psychological game that gets into Civilization. I mean, there is a huge difference between how you play the game against a computer and how you play the game online. And I really enjoy that difference, because it's kind of like a brand new game. When you play against other human players, you have to kind of gauge what kind of personality they are. And, you know, of course it helps if you know the people you're playing, but if you don't know them at all, it can be very difficult to gauge whether or not someone's friendly or someone needs to be threatened, or if a threat is going to just automatically turn them into an enemy, which wouldn't be good. Sometimes it's good to kiss a little butt, because in turn you get on their good side. And let's just say you are going for a science victory like I am, and you're playing an online game. Well, that's a good situation that you want to kiss up to some of the stronger nations' butts, because if you're not a threat to them, you'll be low on the list for their military victory. You'll be one of the people that they're not quite concerned with taking out. Because if there's other people that are just really big militaristically, they're going to want to take them out. Now, saying that, you also want to make sure you are a threat regardless. Because that gets you into the position where if there's a military victory going on and someone's trying to take over people, if you seem weak, they're just going to take you over. They may not take you over right away because you're friendly and you help them, but if they don't want to necessarily fight a stronger nation and they just kind of want to continue to grow, they'll take you out. So make sure that you're strong. And a fun thing I like to do is I like to show off my forces that I have. I like to show them off. I like to constantly move them. So just because you have troops doesn't mean you should position them on your borders 24/7. I like to cycle my guys through. So I like to move them along my borders. I like to move them within the range where the enemies can see them, and then move them out and just cycle units through to make it seem like I have a whole lot more soldiers than I really do. So I can take 3 or 4 units and constantly move them around my border in and out of sight lines to make it look like that 3 or 4 units is more like 7 or 8 units. And that just doubles what your enemies think you have, and it can be a very big strategy. So it's just one of those psychological things that is good to do. You guys build me a shrine and get that going on for me. Ragusa, they want gold, and you get more influence. That's helpful, because I think, no, my influence is fine. That road really helped out my influence. That is a huge influence thing we got right there. So I don't even have to worry about that. I won't have to send them any gold for a while. And this next turn here, as soon as it goes through, obviously I'll have gunpowder. That'll be cool. Someone enhanced their religion. So Buddhism is now got some enhanced beliefs. So they're catching up on the faith game with me. There are now 3 nations kind of that are faith contenders in the world. Still one religion that can be founded, but ooh, that's blue. I don't like that. Budapest, Monaco. So, alright, let's go check them out, because they are the people that I want to be aligned with next. They're the second city-state that I truly want to pick up. I don't care about Budapest. Obviously, they're a military nation. It's not a very important thing for me right now. But Monaco, on the other hand, I do want to be on good terms with them. And the fact that they're allied with somebody else is not cool for me. So I'm going to go ahead and give them a gift of 500 gold. Will that win over their friendship? I don't know. Yep, it did. Alright, that's cool. We're not friends with them. The Swedish people will obviously notice that, but you know, this is just another situation where you can distinguish between a human player and a non-human player. Since this is a computer player, they're not going to really be as angry with me for taking their city-state. Obviously, since it's right on their borders, it's on their continent, they're not going to be happy about it. They're going to try and get them back, and I can expect to see some spy action there in the future. But at the same time, if you're playing an online game and you take somebody else's city-state that they're already allied with, it's kind of an unwritten rule not to mess with other people's stuff. You just don't take their stuff unless, of course, you know, it was the other situation. Like, if I was in control of the city-state and it's right on their border, it should be theirs, maybe I would see why they would take it. But for this instance, online, if I was playing as Sweden, I'd be pretty pissed off that you would go out of your way to take this city-state. Even though they're important, it's fair game. I wouldn't go to war with you over this, by no means. That's cool. We get 12 culture, so that's a nice little bonus. But I wouldn't go to war with somebody over that, but it would just be one of those little things that if they just kept pushing me in the wrong way enough times, that would be one of the reasons why I would choose to go to war with them over somebody else. And we're going to go ahead and pick up chemistry. I like cannons. Siege weapons are another important thing. You're going to see that I like to choose range unit upgrades over anything else. Even though I love a full army, I never am going to attack with just kind of a one-sided army. Occasionally I'll attack without cavalry support. Depends on my enemy. But I really like to keep things to a very smart attack kind of process. I like to have infantry so I can have those meat shields. I like to have the cavalry so I can encircle a city much quicker and deal with enemy reinforcements much easier. I like that artillery because if you don't have artillery, your attacks are just not going to work. It's just, unless you're playing a really good nation, such as I think it's like the Huns or something. Not the Huns, the Mongols. Well, I guess the Huns too. Huns have those battering rams. The Mongols have those horse archers. Unless you're playing the Mongols, let's say, and you've got a lot of horse archers to surround your cities with, that's one of the few situations where I would say you don't necessarily need a siege unit, but they're very good when taking cities. Pretty much essential. And I'm going to get those guys next. Ha! The Swedish coup has failed in Monaco. I was completely on the money when I said that they're most likely going to be fighting me from Monaco as spies. I knew that was going to happen, and it did. It happened, literally the next turn. They tried to stage a coup, failed, which is an amazing thing because now they don't have a spy. I doubt that they have 2 spies already at this point in the game. So now they have no spies. So I can probably, let's see, how much do I have here? I've got a good amount of influence here, so I'm going to go ahead and move those guys out and move them up to Antwerp. I think that's how you call that one. Some of the names in this game I don't get. Some I know I say it right. Others, it's a crapshoot whether or not I say it right. So you guys are going to move up here and go ahead and try and win some influence up there because they're going to be my next target. I want to get that awesome bonus that they give. And We're going to go ahead and go for that. Social policy, we got that going on. What to build? You guys can go ahead and build me. My money situation is very good, but I want to keep that going. So go ahead and build me a bank. I want to just keep that money situation going. I want to get it as much money as I can. I just want to hoard money. I want to be a Scrooge, get as much money as I can, so I can just have a huge influence with these city-states. That's a very important thing to do when you're going for a scientific victory. It also a cultural victory. It's also helpful, and I really like getting that on. So we're gonna get protectionism next. I wanted to look around before I picked it. I was pretty certain I was going to get that one, but I wanted to look around because my happiness is doing well. It was at plus 10, now it's at plus 15. So I wanted to kind of look around, see if there's anything else I might want more, but no. That's going to be the best one for now. That plus 15 happiness is good. Get me to a golden age all the faster, so I will take that. So Sweden has taken back their guarantee of protecting Monaco, so it kind of feels to me like they're giving up. They're just kind of saying, you know what, you're really pushing hard. We already lost our spy. We just don't want to be associated with them for now. That's kind of what they're saying to the world. And, I mean, that's cool. That works for me. I doubt that they will stay that way. As soon as they get another spy, they're going to just start pushing again. But for now, they're backing off completely. So that's just all the better for me because obviously I've moved my spy onto greener pastures and I can focus on some other things rather than having to focus on keeping that. So that is cool. That is cool. There we are. We've got chemistry now. And although it's not a crucial technology, it is an essential technology because with a scientific victory, every technology is an essential technology. So, I mean, you got to research them all at one point. So you just might as well knock them all out while you got it. So I said so a lot. I think I said it about 4 times there. Let's see. You guys go ahead and build me another trading post. I love having Ragusa as my ally. That extra food bonus has allowed me to build a lot less farms than I normally would have built or have built at this point. I would most likely have twice as many farms. Whereas now I am able to focus a lot more on building some extra mines, building a lot of extra trading posts, more than I would at this point in the game any other playthrough. So that has been very, very nice. You guys, I want to build the National Treasury, and in order to do that I have to build one more market up here in Nicaea, which I will be working on next because I'm about to have a caravel built there. So in the meantime, build a constabulary, get that knocked out, and have that going for me. You guys go ahead. I'm about to have a caravel built, and at the same time I'm also about to be able to get that upgrade to a frigate. I don't know if I necessarily want that. It takes iron, which I have now, so that's not a big deal, but I'm going to go for acoustics. Get that ability to build some of those extra culture buildings. And the Sistine Chapel is also very nice. I like the Sistine Chapel because that extra 25% bonus of culture in every single of your cities is huge, especially for me since I'm playing a very expansionist-based game and I'm trying to get as many cities as I have. I already have 5, and that extra 25% bonus is going to do me a lot more good than it would pretty much anybody else at this point in the game. There we go. We got these guys finished. Go ahead and not explore automated. When I'm playing a bigger game like this, I normally like to move my units personally. I like to just kind of know what I'm doing. I have a plan, and I like to be able to move everything personally and do all that myself. But when it's sometimes I will make an exception when it comes to naval exploitation because, you know, especially in a game like this where I got a lot of workers working on different things and constantly building upgrades, I don't necessarily need to focus as much on moving that guy individually. You guys, mark it. That's right. Almost forgot. Want to get that knocked out. That is going to be very important. The National Treasury is just a huge bonus of monies that I like very much. I will accept your embassy. Thank you very much. Now I'm going to go size you up, see if you guys are tough or not. Well, let's see. Doesn't seem like you have any upgrades. Where are your farms, man? Where are your farms? I mean, I know you don't have necessarily good terrain for farms. Oh, that's a city-state. That makes sense. I don't know what I'm doing. England is over here. I thought I mistook those guys for England earlier, which is foolish of me because England is red and those guys aren't anything at all red. Ooh, great profit. That is nice. I will definitely send him out. Alright, London has some pretty decent rare resources, and they seem to be, well, they are doing very well for themselves. Level 18 city is much better than my level 13. And then Sweden has, I think it's 15. 16 now. They got 16. I knew it was 14 before. So they're also expanding rather well. But England's doing good for themselves, and they tend to have a very strong central city. So I can expect them to be a force to be reckoned with in this game. They are usually always a strong nation, but being that this is against the CPU, you know, once again, I'm just kind of putting the distinction between an online game and a regular game. If this was online, I would expect a very strong navy from them, because people wouldn't really be playing England unless they were ready to do that very strong naval game. And with all the waterways that are going on in this map, I mean, I chose to do a continental map where there's going to be lots of different continents, but this map seems to have more water than I'm used to. So I want to make sure you guys go ahead and build another mine there. I like that production. I want to make sure that keep my eye on them, but I won't have to worry about them as much as I would in an online game due to the fact that the computer just doesn't see the significance of naval units, and which is truly a pity because it takes away from this amazing game just a little bit. Not enough to make this game, you know, unplayable or broken or anything like that, but it would be nice if they used that a little bit more, because I have played opponents where I send in a couple of ships to give naval support, and then all of a sudden I get surrounded by a navy of 8 or 9 ships, and that just kind of blows me away. It says, oh crap, I gotta kind of be a little bit more careful, and now on the defense I know that I have to spend a little bit extra money to build up a navy. So it just makes it a fuller game when you're playing against somebody who knows how to utilize a navy very well. And I think I'm going to move my great prophet out here. I want to get him out to these city-states. I definitely want to convert Monaco, and I will most likely I'll go ahead and convert Budapest. I'll probably annoy the Swedish peeps up here and convert their city as well. They don't have any religion, so that'll be useful. It's not like it's going to really piss them off or anything, so might as well just convert them all. I have the chance. There are 6 nations in this game, and only 4 can found religions. So the chances of Sweden being one of the remaining, out of the 3 people that haven't found a religion, being one of them that are going to found a religion, I don't know if they will or not. They don't seem to really be expanding. It looks like they're going for a more cultural, well, a more kind of closed-in approach to things. It doesn't look like they're expanding, because their city seems to cover quite a bit of ground, and obviously I haven't explored the land up here, so I have no clue how many cities they have, but we'll find out once I get my great prophet in there. Hopefully those barbarians that were just to the southeast of them aren't going to trouble them. I'll have to be careful how I move them, because there's nothing like getting a great prophet, or any great person in that matter, and trying to move them around, and next thing you know, some barbarians pop out of nowhere and take them, because unlike civilians, which can be recaptured, once you lose that great prophet, they're gone. They're gone, there's no getting them back, and you have to sit and twiddle your thumbs until the next one appears. And just like I predicted, Sweden did not get to found the final religion. England actually founded it, and now have acoustics, so you will see me trying to build the Sistine Chapel rather soon. I'm going to get that national treasury knocked out first, because there's a greater chance that that's going to be kind of built somewhere else. I mean, there's not. The fact of the matter is, both of them are kind of a rarer one to see at this point in the game. The Sistine Chapel is always built. Someone always builds the Sistine Chapel, but since the game has been going on long enough that people are starting to get a little bit of gap in between each other scientifically, as far as what they've researched and what they've not, and acoustics is less of a military and more of an economical thing, and people tend to focus on military things, especially when facing the computer, that I have a little bit of room to build a Sistine Chapel. I doubt anybody else is going to even start to think about working on it for another 15-20 turns at least. So I know I have a little bit of breathing room, and I do build things rather fast here in Constantinople. I have a good production, so I should be able to knock out both one city and still be able to keep up the production of everything else and get things built. And you guys are just going to sit here. I don't want to upgrade them. I can upgrade those guys. I can also upgrade both of my catapults to triremes and both of my archers that I have here from composite bowmen up to crossbowmen. But the reason I'm holding off is because I'm not even using them right now. So there's no point using the money that I would spend to upgrade them now because there's just no point. There's no point at all. And I would much rather use that money to kind of... Ooh, that's rough. England, you just pissed me off. You just pissed me off, and that's not a smart thing to do at all. They just staged a coup out here in Monaco, and now Monaco is no longer cool with me. So that is very, very annoying. I don't understand why they did that, because they're just as far away from Monaco as I am, and the fact that they would do that is not very pleasing to me. So I am going to go ahead and farm my caravel after I build this upgrade. You, good sir, go and build me another farm. I don't have enough farms here. And just because I'm good on food doesn't mean that I can completely focus on other things. Where is my caravel? There you are. You're out here in the ice. Why are you down here? There's nothing down here. This is the downside of having things explore automated. Because whenever you get to that kind of situation, your ships are just going to do things that you normally would not. And, you know, just that as a prime example. And the fact that it would 20 turns. That's quite a bit. But I'll also get to explore all this unexplored land down there in the meantime. But when you are not in control of a unit, they tend to waste time. And even though it might not seem like they're really doing anything that bad, unless you're really OCD, tiles like, you know, right along the line down here don't matter, because most likely there's only probably one barbarian encampment in this entire southern part of the map. It's just going to be all ice, and there's going to be the occasional patch where you can land, maybe a one ruin, probably one barbarian encampment, but that's it, and they're not going to even trouble you, so there's no point trying to really focus on discovering, especially at this point in the game. It's more important to discover other nations, other continents, and get a grasp. So I really want to get that unit moved out. I want to gauge where England is, and I also want to plot a safe course between me and them, because now that they took over my city-state, I'm kind of thinking I want to take them over next, you know, because like I said before, I like to play my games aggressive no matter what victory I'm going for. You know, just because, you know, this scientific victory is going on doesn't mean I'm not going to conquer people, and my optimum way of beating them would be to kind of destroy half my competition militaristically and then destroy the other half by getting that scientific victory there at the end. So you guys have finished building that mine for me, which is doing rather well. You know what? I am good on gold right now, so I'm going to go ahead and build another road going on and build it up here from Adrianople to Budapest, or not Budapest, Belgrade. Sorry. We'll start with a B, getting them mixed up. But I'm going to build it up to Belgrade because I kind of have the suspicion that Belgrade isn't connected to my capital. It should be. You know, you would think it would be because there's a road going from Belgrade through Ragusa down to my capital, so most likely it is connected. But, I don't know, I have a little bit of a suspicion because, look, it branches off there, so it's one continuous road, but it does go through their territory. And it's a safe bet that it does, but at the same time, the fact that people are utilizing spies and, you know, just with the Gods and Kings expansion, with the spy game and everything going on, it's not necessarily a safe bet to put all your eggs in one basket and kind of say, well, you know, it's not going to be that big of a deal, because what if they take Ragusa? What if they steal that city-state away from me? No, I don't want open borders with you. How would that benefit me? I mean, we're miles away from each other. You just pissed me off. I don't trust you. Why would I want open borders? There's no benefit whatsoever to having open borders. I do not care. I do not care. Don't come to me with that nonsense. But it's not safe to kind of just think, oh, it's not going to even bother. Because look, there. I just rigged the election. I thought someone else rigged the election, so I rigged the election. Nice. I'm just going to build a road to be safe. I can afford it. Why not? Knock it out. Get it going. You guys go up there. I might build a farm. We'll see. And let's check out how my influence is. I got a little bit of influence. Not a lot. But anything is good. Anything is good, especially when I'm just starting to win somebody over. and I didn't mind it whatsoever. Alrighty, we have that knocked out, and can't build a national treasure yet because there's still 2 turns until that market's done. So do I want to? I really want to knock out a national treasury first, but at the same time, I'm impatient. I'm feeling impatient. Let's see what else I can build. Is there anything I can build in a couple turns? Build walls in 4, stable in 5. Go ahead and build a stable. I'll go ahead and knock out a stable because I do like mounted units as well. So I'll knock that out. That'll be good. That'll be good for now. And I'll just build the national treasury once that's finished. Ooh, my great prophet has arrived. How nice. Do I have to get you guys closer? I think I do. I'll move you guys closer. Put you right next to Monaco. I can't believe they stole them from me. My influence is at 0. Ah! That's such a pain because my influence was at like 80 something with them before. So the fact that it's at 0 is just so annoying. I gave them 500 gold. I spent so much time befriending them, and they just stole it from me. Ah, it's very annoying. Ha! Get converted to Judaism. See, it's funny. You know, Monaco was honestly not even doing that much for me. Sure, the additional 12 culture I think I got from them was nice. That's a very handsome amount of culture. Increases my culture by over 25%. But at the same time, it's not like my culture is lacking. It's doing very well. And where's my symbol? I should have a symbol. I guess it's not the majority. Oh well. That should piss London off a little bit. Gets them back because they're Confucianism. They founded Confucianism. They're obviously a different religion. So that's just like a punch in the face. It says, hey, you know what? I noticed. And even though I can't afford to get these guys back right now, I'm going to convert them to my religion. There's nothing you can do about it. So, but yeah, there was no reason why they were really that beneficial to me because, well, they have iron. So what? I lost some iron, but I already have 6 iron, so it's not that big of a deal. I lost out on gems, and I already have gems, so they weren't doing much for me. It's just not much to do. So I don't know if I'm going to try and win them back. I may try and win them back, but now I'm going to actually spend my time focusing on Antwerp and getting them to be my friends. Speaking of which, go ahead and have 500 gold. Take that with my good tidings. And we're not friends. Cool. Next 3 happiness. I'll take it. That is cool. 7 influence away from being able to be allies with them, and it's going to take 13 turns for me to do the next Rigdal action. So by the time that goes through, I mean, I should be able to become allies with them, but it won't get me an ally. It won't make me an ally with them for very long. But at the same time, I'll also have, another 500 gold to send them by that time anyway. So I'm getting 35 gold per turn. So that's a very handsome sum. I'm also about to get a market done in Nicaea, and I'm constantly building trading posts. So it's just more and more things are going to be increased, especially since the national treasury is coming next. That's another 8 gold that you can just throw into the pot, and my gold income is very helpful right now. It's very good because gold is always good in this game. It's just one of those things that you cannot go wrong with. It's like culture. You can never go wrong with gold. Gold is probably the most useful thing in this game because whether you're using it to upgrade units or you're using it to buy tiles or buy buildings or, spend on city-states, you're just constantly using it for everything. It's a good thing to have. And we knocked out printing press. Now the technology down. Alright, so I gotta be careful moving these guys around. I don't know how to get them over there because looks like there's a hill ridge around that area. So I'm just gonna go ahead and move them through here. I'll probably convert Budapest. Why not, right? I'm moving right next to it. I've got 3 more uses with those profits that I can afford to do that. But I really want to use them on Sweden because to get them on the same religion as me and kind of have us on the same page might help curry favor with them to hopefully in the long run make things good, and that is cool. I can build the Sistine Chapel out here in 20 turns. It was telling me it would be 26 turns in my capital. So why it's less turns over here, I don't know, but I will go ahead and start building it out here in Adrianople, and I'll get it built all the sooner, which sounds good to me. And another 3 turns I'll have my stable done there, and I can go ahead and build the national treasury. You guys have finally finished the market. About time. Everybody built markets way before you, so let's go ahead and get a barracks done. Actually, no. Workshop, knock it out. Workshops are the kind of buildings that, like, they're different. When you have something like a watermill, let's say, I like to build watermills. Whenever I have a city that I build along a river, I build a watermill. Pretty soon on too. Workshops, on the other hand, I don't feel are as essential. Even though they give you that 10% bonus to production, which can be a lot, I will tend to only build them when I have the time. So right now I have the time. I have enough money that I don't need to build a bank. I'm doing well enough in my faith game. I don't need to build a temple. I'm doing well in my culture game, so I don't need to build an amphitheater. So in turn, I can focus on production. And, you know, it's not a very pressing thing to do, especially since I have so many different cities. Let's go ahead and open up the tech tree, get a broader look. Sometimes when I have a lot of different technologies I can get, and I don't really need any of them right now, it's just like I don't need any of these technologies. It's not very pressing to me. It's always good to open up the tech tree and kind of look a little bit further down the road and say, well, I don't want that right now, but I do want, you know, let's say cavalry, and then I'll research that. So I'm doing well on everything. Let's go ahead and go for, I want to see where coal is. I would like to see where coal is. So we're going to go ahead and knock out economics and then pick up the industrialization afterwards. That way I can get a grasp on where coal is and on the map. And just the sooner you get that, the sooner you can start picking it up. Always useful. And even though I'm not a big fan of air warfare. Not a big fan of it. It's another thing. It's even more underutilized than the naval warfare of this game. Air warfare is practically never used by anybody unless you're playing against another human opponent. So it's one of those things that I don't necessarily worry about too much. I do like to have a few bombers. They're always helpful for an attack, but once again, artillery is a lot more beneficial than a bomber would be, unless you get to the stealth bomber age, and then, you know, they do a pretty decent punch. But even then, I wouldn't know, because, you know, I honestly, I mean, I have played this game quite a bit. I've gotten well over 100 hours on this game. But at the same time, I usually beat the game before the modern age. I rarely get there. I've never built a giant death robot, so that's one of my goals for this game. If I am able to build a giant death robot, which I should be able to, I mean, you're going for a scientific victory, so obviously I'll have the tech for it. Hopefully I'll be able to build a giant death robot. So anyways, guys, I'm going to end this video off here. Now, I spoke a lot in this video about the differences between online play against human players and then computer players, and just kind of the different strategy and the different approaches to it. Now, when I play video games, I'm very big on the psychological view of things. If you're a fan of my work and you've been watching me for a while, or you've seen some of my other stuff, when I give tips and tricks, a lot of it comes down to psychological things, and that's where I like to give benefits. So if you would like to see, let's say, an online game of me playing, you know, you want to see me play against an online game for my next playthrough of this civilization thing, leave me a comment down below and tell me. I would love to do an online game. I would really love to do it with some of you guys, some of my subs. Maybe get a couple other YouTubers involved. I think it'd be a lot of fun to jump online and play against some other human opponents, get a nice competitive game going on, and then upload the footage of it. So let me know what you guys think, and tell me in the comment section down below. My Steam ID is in the description, so if you want to friend me on Steam, go right ahead. Friend me on Steam, but also send me a message on Steam. Say, hey, I'm a sub, I watch your civilization videos, we should play sometime. And I'll respond back, but let me know who you are, because if I get these in, I mean, normally I just accept friend invites from anybody because, you know, I'm a YouTuber, so I just assume you're a sub. But let me know. Tell me something about yourself. Tell me what your favorite video is mine. And, you know, I love to get to know you guys. So, Steam ID, description down below. Rate, favorite, comment, you know the works. Do it if you like it. Do it if you wish to send support. I always appreciate it. And thank you so much for watching, guys. Until next time, laters.